From Echoes with Tia, where every heartbeat tells a story, and every story leaves an echo. Whispers of Yesterday, Chapter 5. The Door. The sea was still roaring when Amara finally stumbled back into her car. The storm had eased, but her mind hadn't. The lighthouse behind her stood like a memory carved into stone, unyielding, silent and watching. She sat behind the wheel for a long time, unable to move. Her hands trembled as she stared at the photograph David had shown her. 3 smiles, 2 identical faces, one truth she no longer recognized. The image burned in her mind, looping over and over until suddenly she realized something strange. In the photo, her wrist bore a thin scar she didn't have anymore. She looked down at her hand now, smooth. No scar. Her breath caught. Pieces of her life were missing, small, quiet details she'd never thought to question. Her sudden move to Lagos 3 years ago, the gap between her last job and the radio station, the medication bottles in her cabinet labeled with initials she couldn't recall, prescribing. Who had she been before the accident? And what was she trying so hard to forget? She turned the key, the engine growling awake, and drove into the night. By dawn, Amara was back in the city. The streets glistened from the rain, puddles mirroring the pale pink light creeping over the horizon. She parked in front of her apartment, exhaustion clinging to her bones like a second skin. But as soon as she entered, she froze. Something was different. The air smelled faintly of sandalwood, the same scent that had clung to Damelaire's old jacket. And on her kitchen counter, placed neatly beside her cold coffee mug, was the journal. She hadn't brought it with her. Her pulse quickened. Slowly, she opened the cover. A new page had been added. The handwriting again. Hers only this time. The ink was still wet. "You're close. The door will show you the rest." The words blurred as tears welled in her eyes. The door. She looked around her apartment, the front door, the bedroom door, the one leading to the balcony, all ordinary. But then her gaze drifted to a smaller one, a narrow, wide door beside the bookshelf. She had never opened it since moving in. The landlord had said it led to a storage alcove sealed years ago. She stepped closer. Her fingers brushed the handle. Cold metal. A faint hum of electricity beneath her skin. Her heart pounded in her throat. When she turned the knob, it resisted, but only for a moment. Then it gave way. The door creaked open. Inside was darkness, the kind that swallowed light whole. She reached for her phone, flicked on the flashlight, and stepped inside. The air was heavy with dust, but it wasn't a storage room. Not really. On the far wall hung a board covered in photographs, newspaper clippings and strings connecting them. Some faces were circled in red, others crossed out. Her face appeared twice, once smiling beside Damelaire,